G. Chokkalingam is with us as well. Chokka, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you here. What did you make of the numbers, the auto numbers?
It's quite mixed. Bajaj Auto continues to suffer. We saw just 2% year-on-year growth. This is what I've been saying. There has been a major structural change in the two-wheeler space ever since Honda Motors started, standing on its own. Already captured 1/4 of the market share and launched the 4th plant. And in fact, they have got a very aggressive the production target of 26%, when the industry is expected to grow in single digit. So therefore, companies like Bajaj Auto and Hero Motor would continue to suffer with a single digit growth, if not degrowth. So therefore, I would not be aggressive.
Ashok Leyland specifically, stock was at a 52-week high. Yeah. Numbers were about 10% lower than what was expected. Yeah.
But it's largely in price. This is what I've been saying. The commercial vehicle business in this country is highly cyclical, whereas a two-wheeler is quite smooth in relation to commercial vehicle.
Yeah.
So we have seen it last 20 years. So I would not pay around 30 PE for Ashok Leyland. Unless it corrects another 10-15%, I would not recommend Ashok Leyland.
Pankaj, TVS was in line?
Prashant, TVS was slightly better. So 2.37 lakh units is what was expected.
And they came in at 2.43.
2.43. So just marginally better. Scooters continue to do well. Scooters was up 20%. That has been the driving number. So that was essentially the takeaway. Overall, decent set of numbers. But there the worry is, how will the margins come in? Because numbers are coming in, but margins on a YOY, QOQ basis are not really expanding.
Okay, all right. Let's just go across to Hina, and she's got an eye on many stocks with specific news flow. So Zealand, Treehouse, there was a merger with, there's been some issue. Punj Lloyd is going to pay a fine, Bharti Airtel and some others as well. So we've got some news flow. Hina, go on.
Good morning, Prashant. So let's start with Zealand as well as Treehouse. They'll be in focus because, they will not really be proceeding. So Zealand will not proceed with Treehouse's merger agreement, not to go ahead with the agreed share exchange ratio. In fact, they would be reconstituting the merger evaluation committee. So that's why this stock, both these stocks, in fact, will be in focus today. Punj Lloyd will be in focus because a UK court has ordered the unit to pay a fine of about $26.2 million to IFC. It is evaluating various legal options as well and will take appropriate steps. UK court has also ordered this particular unit to pay about 75,000 euros as assessment cost. Then you've got Bharti Airtel, that will be in focus because, the board will be meeting on 16th of June to consider subdivision of shares. South Indian Bank will be in focus. Before that, you have Kajaria Ceramics board to meet on the 16th of June for the payment. Bharti Airtel, I beg your pardon. So Bharti Airtel will be in focus because they have appointed Shashi Arora as CEO and MD of the Payments Bank. When it comes to South Indian Bank, they will be raising about 500 crore rupees from Basel III compliant bonds. And lastly, you've got Jyoti Labs, where Henkel is likely to invest in Jyoti Labs. So that's the news coming in. That's why this one will be in focus.
Chokka, Zealand and this Treehouse merger business?
No, this is a good lesson for the retail investors. The Treehouse is down almost 80% from the peak. Unfortunately, a lot of...
After that, this is when they announced the merger, right? Once it corrected...
Before that, it was trading at as high as, 500.
Yeah.
So 470 was a peak. In fact, we people also go through a lot of pressure because after seeing stock like Treehouse going to 470, some of the people approach us, why can't you find such stock? I always say that, you don't get attracted just because the price is moving up. So this is one good example. Look at March results, also pathetic. And
the thing is, they have a real business, Treehouse. I mean, it's visible, it's on the ground. You can go visit one of their centers and they've got a large network. All of that is fine.
It's not getting reflected. If you see the March quarter results, March quarter results, turnover is down very badly. And in fact, the tangible assets have gone up substantially in FY16. That's not yet reflected in the business top line at all. In fact, they posted losses. So therefore, it's very unfortunate for the people. I know personally also some of the retail investors who lost heavily in Treehouse. It's very unfortunate, but at least they should take it as a lesson. It is good for Zealand. Not going through this merger is, in my view, is good for Zealand.
Okay, all right. Chokka is with us here. And we also have Gaurav Bissa joining us, a derivatives analyst with LKP Securities. Gaurav, good morning. Good to have you in the conversation as well. Gaurav, quick thoughts from you on the market. How are things looking? How are they set up? A bit of correction?
Good morning. I would not term it as a correction. We have seen a 500 points rally coming in a matter of a week. And if we fall down by about, say, 100 points, I would not say that it's a correction. It might be a dip. But if you look at a couple of factors, one, very strong breakout above 8,000 levels, lack of shorts, substantial short on these levels. I think the dips will be utilized to go long again. Around 8050, it's a good level to again go long in the market for people who have missed on the rally. There's a possibility that they may again come back to the market. So I would say it's better that if Nifty consolidates. That is what we also expect, some pressure, some consolidation of 100 points here and there, and then again heading towards 8250 or 8300 kind of levels.
Correction, fall, dip, drawdown, call it what you want. But the point is 500 points and a bit of cool off, one more adjective, is maybe necessary, is important before the market takes off once again, one way or the other, I think. Otherwise, you'd have a bigger fall later. 20 points on the Sensex, 26,693. You've got the Nifty, which is going to start about 20 odd points lower as well. Chokka, aggregate market, you think will continue to do well broadly?
Definitely, that's what I've been saying. External front is improving, and in case new governor comes, he can focus more on growth rather than inflation. The only
you're bringing in the new angle of the new governor.
I hope any governor who cares more about growth would be my choice rather than inflation, because the global deflationary pressures have not eliminated fully. So that's my firm view, which I've been saying for the last 1.5 years consistently.
Okay.
Also the monsoon. Now this morning we saw the news that IMD forecasts onset of monsoon from June 7th. I hope there is no further delay of 1 or 2 weeks. That can give a temporary jittery to the market in case there is a delay further.
So you're in the camp with Mr. Subramaniam Swamy?
No, I am not neither in Rajan nor in Swami's camp.
Okay, all right. Just in terms of view on this issue, essentially, 40 points lower on the Sensex, and the Nifty is starting lower, about 13-14 points. ICICI Bank is down about 1/3%. Hindalco is down 0.6. BHEL starts down 0.4. Adani Port, by the way, which has come up from under 180 to 200 plus very quickly, is in the green. Asian Paints is down 1%. Axis Bank is down 0.6. Sun Pharma is up 1/4. Tata Steel is down 0.17. So auto sales, Bajaj reported earnings down about 0.25%, 2597, 2595. Hero reported numbers for the month of May, down 0.18. TVS was a little better, as Pankaj was telling us earlier. It's up about 1.7, 1.8. Tata Motors was the other one which reported sales, 448. Tata Motors, of course, reported JLR sales, retail sales in the US as well. Then let's look at Coal India, where, after last month's dip in the month of May, production has actually grown, 297.6. Coal India also had a large move day before yesterday, I think. Z is up 5.5%, so 30.5, and we look at Tree House as well, which is down 1.3. Let's look at Jyoti Laboratories quickly. So Jyoti is, in the pre-open, was showing a meaningful move after reports that Henkel is going to invest in the company, 10 or 11% higher on Jyoti Laboratories. 311 is where Jyoti Laboratories stands. Quickly put up Ashok Leyland as well from yesterday. The stock was strong for a while and then kind of sort of started losing ground by a fair bit. It's blinking red and green, 104.5 on Ashok Leyland. So not yet decided. The Nifty is down and Sensex is up. So obviously very small change in terms of start that we are seeing at this point in time. Pankaj, anything else in terms of stocks?
Prashant, Jyoti Labs, as you pointed out, it's doing well. So talks of investment via Henkel.
Anything else?
It's up 10. Suzlon is up about 2%. HSBC has maintained its buy. So that's a name which is doing well. South Indian Bank is to raise about 500 odd crores. It's up about 3 to 3.5 odd percent. TVS Motors has added on to gains. So it was up about 1%. Now it's up close to about 2 odd percent. Gokuldas Export, it was up 20% day before, 18% yesterday. It's up another 2% right now. So from levels of 80, it's gone to the levels of 104. Z-Learn, Treehouse, of course, we saw Z-Learn has called off the merger. It's up 5% at this point of time. NBCC was up yesterday by about 3%. It's up by about 2% right now as well. As far as some of the losers are concerned, So Punj Lloyd is down 4%. We told you about the fine that they are likely to pay. Biocon is slightly correcting after the move that it has given in the last few days. And PC Jewellers is down about 2.5% yesterday. Some of these names did decently well.
Laboratories, Chokka?
Very interesting. There are two comments I can make. One is that if it is true, it can be kept in the curriculum of MBA students because Enkel started on its own, struggled for almost nearly 2 decades. They could not turn around. Then they sold it to Jyoti Lab. And now, if they take stake in Jyoti Lab, it clearly proves that it's a case study where the Indian entrepreneur could do better than time-tested European company. But second point, this is already in price. It's not cheap stock. And already we heard such rumor, but it did not materialize. So I would advise caution. Rather, I would sell the stock now and take the profit out because the valuation wise, it is certainly too costly.
Jyoti Laboratories, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 7.5. Actually, why don't we try and call up the management of Jyoti Laboratories quickly? Ask them if they have a comment to make on the subject that we have. So that is Jyoti for you. Chokka, you wanted to comment on ITI?
Yeah, I'm happy that you are taking up this kind of small cap where there is a bubble. I have been tracking this company for more than 20 years. See, it's not able to make operating profit. Even for FY16, operating losses are 10% of the sales. The point is that year after year, the government has been pumping money through grants in aid. And these grants in aid are shown as other income or extraordinary income, therefore suddenly robust to profit. So actually, it's a reward for inefficiency by the government. Instead of shutting down, pumping money through grants in aid. And stock market is also rewarding in terms of 20% upward freeze yesterday. So definitely, it has to do more with, the floating stock. 90% is held by government. Only 10% is in the market. So I would advise caution. Definitely, valuation.
Who's buying these stocks? I mean, you think these are speculators just driving the stock up? I've not heard any retail investor ever.
No, what happens, unfortunately, many retail investors, they start picking up the stock when they start moving. They don't look at the fundas. So when the momentum builds up, there are many people jump in and then start buying aggressively. That's what happened to Treehouse also. So that's unfortunate. But if valuation-wise, it's not worth at all. It's a huge losses, accumulated losses, not able to make any profit at operating level. And without government support, the company would have been shut long back. So such a level of inefficiency.
Gaurav, any thoughts on the open that we are seeing? Anything you'd recommend doing straight off?
For the index, I think it would be wise to write 8,300, 8,400 call options because if you buy puts, the kind of volatility that Nifty has been showing, I don't think it would give a good case to go long into the put options. We had recommended 8,000 put option to our clients, but it did not work that well the way we were expecting it to. So it is better to write out of the money call options, probably work on the time value, and if Nifty falls, that would be even helping it more, getting the profit. So I think writing options would be making sense.
Okay. Any stocks you'd want to put trades on, Gaurav?
We have recommended the Wokhart firm to our clients, and if not in the futures, one can even buy 1,000 strike call option that looks very lucrative, it's trading around 930, 932. We expect 970 kind of levels coming in next few trading sessions. We are short on the Jet Airways that is looking weak. There's a possibility. There's a great chance it may go towards 550 kind of levels. So one can either buy 560 put option or sell at these levels.
Anything else? Wokhart, anything else?
We are a little bit long on Adani Ports as well, though it's seen a decent amount of jump yesterday also. But if it sustains 200 levels, then yes, there would be quite a few amount of buying interest can be seen. It can again head towards 210 kind of levels. Coal India, among the larger players, I would say Coal India, if it sustains 300, one can expect 5 to 8% jump coming in. So about 300, we would be recommending to our clients as well.
Okay. Chokka, any thoughts on Adani Port back above 200? Will it go anywhere or will it...
No, below 200, it's a good buy because as I've been saying, despite the degrowth in India's exports, and both imports and exports, and world global trade taking a big hit, the company has done reasonably well. It has been impacted only by the leveraging issue. That's why the valuation multiple was not too good. but to some extent that is in price. So I would give a buy in case it falls, below 200.
Coal India, of course, I've known that you like the stock. You like
in fact, that's one of our topmost pick. I absolutely believe that another 2 years this can give a special dividend. The government balance sheet is not going to improve substantially. Partly it was helped because of the oil price crash. We saw the way the duties on fuels were hiked, but now the oil price has bounced. So there might not be that kind of benefit to the government. And therefore, I firmly believe that at least 2 more special dividend would be there. On the other hand, the fundamentals also improving. We saw recently price hike. There are reports of Indonesia cutting down coal output, China cutting down coal output. So in my view, internationally also the coal prices have bottomed out. So therefore, I firmly believe that Coal India is one of the attractive stocks in the large cap space.
Let's just look at a couple of other stocks as well, which are in focus. So. Treehouse, etc., Jyoti, etc., we spoke about. Tata Metallics is up 5%. We'll put these stocks up. So, Tata Metallics. MK is up 7%. So, we spoke with Porinju from Kochi yesterday. Porinju Veliath, who runs equity intelligence at PMS. In the block deals, there was data that he's bought some shares in MK. I mean, enough to show up as part of the block deal. NBCC, which was up 3%, is up another 3% right now. Arcom, 5% yesterday, up another 1.5% now. And Cadila, which opened flat, is now down about 2% or so. So IMS, which is an industry body, their data showed that Cadila has lost some market share in the US and some key products. So that is Cadila for you. Long list there. Arcom, Choka, again, trading play.
Yeah, trading play, one can hope another even 10-15% from this level. Till you get the news on this tower sale, there is some optimism in the stock for the traders. So definitely one can buy it for short-term gain.
Okay, can buy it for short-term gains. I'm being told that we're getting the management of Jyoti Laboratories in the phone line. Okay, Mr. Ullas Kamath is with us from Jyoti Laboratories. Mr. Kamath, thank you for your time, sir. Appreciate you joining in. So the news report and Business Standard saying Henkel might invest in Jyoti Laboratories. Is it true?
It is only likelihood, but it is, as of now, it's just an option what they have, which I will give. Everybody are aware of that. That option window is open from 1/4/2016 till March 2017, and that is a fact. At this point in time, window is open for them to invest is what when they asked the question, I told them, and that's the fact.
No, so somebody obviously from there has approached you, right? With not an offer, but
I'll not
interest,
be able
basically.
to comment on that because it is not fair on my part. Unless it is done, nothing is done. So it is just that window is open for them to invest in Jyoti Labs, and that's the fact. Is what I can confirm at this point in time.
You had acquired their Indian subsidiary in 2011, right?
That's right. 2011, we acquired their entire India business operations. We acquired. And at that point in time, they wanted to stay in India with some stock in Jyoti, which we said that we'll do it after 5 years. And that's how the option agreement came into the picture when we agreed to acquire their 100% of interest here. And that's how we gave a back-to-back option for them after 5 years.
What so I'll just the news report also. The report that I'm quoting from is pretty specific. Your stock is at about 300 rupees. The report says Henkel is said to be contemplating picking up a stake in Jyoti at 500 to 600 rupees a share.
It's all speculation only, and nothing of that sort which we have told. It's a speculation by the analysts and the reporters, and nothing to say about it.
Right. But can you at least confirm that you have? We should put a question mark there, please. Henkel to invest question mark. We don't have that confirmation, sir. But you can at least confirm whether an approach has been made, right? They've approached you.
The fact that the window is open is it is a legal agreement, and the option is open for them. It's what we can confirm at this point in time.
So you are saying that so far the window was not open to them under the terms of the agreement that you guys signed. Now that window is open, right? That's what you're saying.
And it's a 1 year long window, and the fact that it's a 1 year long window means for negotiation.
What do you mean it's a 1 year window? What happens after 1 year?
No, because otherwise they'll lose that option before March 2017. If they do not exercise before March 2017, they'll lose that option of investing in Jyoti up to 26%. And the window was closed for 4 years. We acquired that business in 2011, and we opened the window after 5 years, 1/4/2016, and up to 2017. That means there is requirement of negotiation between both the parties, and that's why the 1 year window has been kept.
Okay, all right. I mean, if you do get an approach, you'd be open, right?
Absolutely, because it is in interest of both the parties. They want to be in India, and we are definitely looking for more products. And that is the reason both the companies have agreed, because there exists beautiful synergy. They are FMCG major in the world, and we are reasonably doing well in FMCG in India. And what we need is a product range, and what they need is footprints in India, and that's where the synergy exists.
Valuation-wise, I don't see any comfort. So, as he clarifies, it is very clear that there is nothing new development. The window is already there. Already we heard this rumor a couple of times. So, therefore, I would not go by the rumor and suggest to buy. Rather, one can book profit, because valuation-wise it is highly stretched. Of course, if it happens, as I said...
Mr. Kamath, what would be the right valuation which would interest you? What do you think?
I will not be able to say that, please. It's not fair on my part to talk on that.
All right, got that. Thank you very much. Thanks very much for coming on and talking to us about this matter. Thank you. That's Ullas Kamath, the top boss at Jyoti Laboratories, saying that they'd be interested. But, the point is, this, in a way, he did suggest that he'd be interested. I mean, if there is an interest from Henkel. But the point is, he refused to kind of sort of confirm or deny whether there's been an actual approach which has been made. Or, and it kind of seems, this Business Standard story seems to be like a story based on the fact that, well, the window has opened now. I mean, so they have a 1 year window, and now it's kind of open. So, but the story doesn't have any confirmation or anything that they will be interested in going ahead from Henkel or from Jyoti. But you heard from the management right now. 301.5 is where the stock is. Chokka, any other thoughts?
No.
Markets, I mean, overall?
Yeah.
Any specific stocks?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, as I said, market, I remain bullish. Maybe, the July, there could be small correction when Fed hikes the rate. And, or in case monsoon delayed by a week or two, then there can be little jittery. But otherwise, I remain optimistic. I can talk about a couple of stocks. One is MOIL Limited. Personally, also I hold. Yesterday we saw the government, as per the media sources, asking the PSUs to go for a bonus, splitting of shares and dividend. So they issued the 4 criteria, and MOIL is the only PSU which fulfills 3 out of 4, in terms of possibility of hiking the dividend, giving buyback, bonus share. And fundamentally also 80% is the cash as compared to the market cap. And post-March, they have increased the prices of manganese ore. So that is one stock. Second stock, based on the results, KCP Limited. The sugar business in Vietnam has done phenomenally well. It has increased the profit by more than 75% in Vietnam. And consolidated EPS around 7. I am expecting the consolidated EPS to go up to as high as 10 in 1 year forward. And that is a stock I pitch as a multi-bagger in the long term, because they have got a huge surplus land in Chennai. There is a possibility of unlocking, because now that engineering division which has got the surplus land is making losses for last 2 years. So it makes sense for them to either convert as a logistic business or unlock real estate value. A good management. So this is a second stock I would suggest. Third is Jammu Kashmir Bank. Why I got attracted to is that this is the only PSU bank among the results I have seen which has posted 12.5% growth in the credit. After the surge in the NPA and losses at the bottom line, many PSUs banks have even posted a degrowth in the credit. So this is the highest credit growth, higher than the industry growth. And also second unique fact is that it is at a 30% discount adjusted book value. So there are all other large PSU banks are available at 2 to 3 times adjusted book value because of the surge in NPA. So these are the 3 stocks I would present. I believe in them.
Jammu and Kashmir Bank, MOIL, and KCP Limited. Are you expecting anything on MOIL in terms of cash outgo or buyback or anything?
This is the only PSU, I don't know, it doesn't listen to the government suggestions. They always stick to very small dividend. and so much of cash. I mean, cash is close to 3,000 crore, which is 80% of the market cap. So yesterday we saw the government guidelines as per the media source that they have to pay 5% of the net worth as a dividend. Right now they are paying only 2.5%. And also the government has suggested that companies which have got more than 2,000 crore net worth or more than 1,000 crore cash should do buyback. And this company has got nearly 3,000 crore net worth. And cash is also, more than 2,000 crore. So therefore, it can do, buyback. So all this augur well for the stock to, and plus, as I said, post-March result, they hike the manganese ore prices anywhere from 10% to 50% on various grades. So in my view, the June quarterly result should be very good. So considering all these facts, I would suggest a buy.
At what point, Chokka, I mean, you recommended Biocon as a buy a long time back, right?
Yeah.
At what point would you recommend take profits?
I initiated around 330, three years back, and reiterated my conviction from 450 to 400. I am still holding for my clients. Even I personally hold in my company small shares. To be very fair, I would not suggest buy, though I am holding. I would say that long-term investors can hold, or those who have a very high exposure, they can realign by slightly cutting it down. But definitely long-term investors can hold, because in the next 2-3 years it can even touch 1,000 rupees. But right now, to be fair, in terms of valuation, it's fairly priced.
Fairly priced. Some of your other ideas like JB Chemicals, etc.?
In fact, that's what I am doing. I am realigning the Biocon, cutting down the exposure and adding aggressively to JB Chemical, because I believe that JB Chemical one day will reward like Biocon. Fantastic results. After adjusting for exceptional items, still profit growth is around 50%, and still sitting on a cash around 300 crore net of debt. And it's an amazing stock to me. In fact, personally also I hold. So this is what I am doing now. Even yesterday we bought a good quantity of JB Chemical for our clients. By slightly taking money out of Biocon.
Have you ever looked at a stock called Indian Terrain, Chokka?
Yeah, looked at it. It's a good company.
Numbers are very good.
Very good. Balance sheet is very good. Net cash company. What is attractive is that consistently it is growing the business in ready-made garments. But valuation is not cheap. So I would, on last 2 days it jumped to 10%. So whenever it falls slightly below 150, one can definitely buy for long term.
Okay, Chokka, thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Gaurav, thanks very much for joining us. Appreciate your time. Thank you, both of you.